Well, it's July and everyone's talking about inventory exploding nationwide, the Federal Reserve possibly resigning at the time I'm filming this video, and mortgage rates being in the low sixes to high fives by the end of the year. Hey everybody, I'm Chris Lamb. I am a mortgage lender based out of California, but I do loans nationwide. And if you ever need advice, I'd be honored and happy to talk to you. In this video, we're going to talk about what's going on with the Federal Reserve. And if he does resign at the time I'm filming this video, he has not yet, what that could mean for mortgage rates and housing going forward in 2025. We're going to talk about the trends in inventory that we're seeing and if we're truly entering a buyer's market or not and what could change that. And we're going to talk about Fannie Mae's latest prediction on interest rates for the year. But before I get started, please make sure to like or subscribe this video. I appreciate it so much. It helps this video get out there to more people. And we're going to jump right in. The big news that I want to start out with is VantageScore 4.0. Now, for anyone that's borrowed money on a home loan, a credit card, most of you are familiar with your FICO score. It's this 3-digit number that for some reason is very, very important to people. Well, some of the biggest news that came out in mortgage probably in the last decade came out just a few weeks back. And mortgage lenders are now going to be able to use VantageScore 4.0, which is a different credit scoring model. Now, what's really cool about this opportunity is we will now be able to take in things like rental history and a 24-month history. We'll be able to ignore things like medical collections. And there's an estimated 5 million people that will now qualify to buy a home that would not have under the old credit scoring model. So make sure that if you're someone that's thinking about buying a house over the next year, that you ask about this because it could get you a better interest rate if the lender that you speak with offers it. Well, in the last couple days, there's been a rumor circulating that our Fed chair, Jerome Powell, is going to resign from his job because of political pressure. Also, a possible scandal where he may have lied about how they spent the money. I'm not going to get into all of that. Here's what you need to know if you're a homeowner or if you're a potential home buyer this year. If the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell does resign and is replaced by one of Trump's picks, it is going to shake things up. Now, our Federal Reserve has been in charge of controlling that Fed funds rate for the last couple of years. He was late to the game when inflation was here 2 years ago, and now he's not wanting to change the rate when he's getting a ton of political pressure to lower rates. If he resigns and his replacement goes in, there's 2 or 3 people that are being talked about right now. We could see things change quickly in our economy. This is really important. If you're a homeowner and you bought a house over the last couple of years and you've got a higher rate, you'd like to see that rate come down. Or if you're someone who's been on the fence of buying a home and you're waiting for rates to come down, you're going to want to make sure you pay attention to this. Some of the headlines with some news outlets are starting to call the housing market a buyer's market. Now, I will tell you, I do not think it's a buyer's market yet. But the reason why this sort of narrative is getting out there is because inventory levels are spiking nationwide. And there's a couple things that you have to think about. Number one, this time of year, July, August, when it gets really hot, we usually see the highest levels of inventory nationwide. Number two, we have things like tariffs and high interest rates happening right now. And so there is some reality to the fact that people are starting to put their homes on the market at a higher pace than this time last year. But calling this a crash would not be accurate. A real estate crash is when prices crash 20% or more. But I will tell you that if this continues happening over the next 6 months, we will definitely see many, many markets in America where home values depreciate in 2025 for the first time in years. So this is something you're going to want to keep your eye on, especially if you're a possible home buyer, because if we can see prices soften up for you a little bit and then possibly rates coming down sometime this year, that's going to be a really good opportunity. Now, what does all of this mean? Right now our housing market is still in this very sort of frozen state. We have a lot of sellers that think it's 2021 and their houses are sitting on the market. They're literally not selling. The homes that are selling right now are priced well, They usually don't have a lot wrong with them. You know, the homes that are fixed up where people don't have to remodel or spend a lot of money once they get into that house are the ones that are selling. So for home sellers, if your house is not updated, you're really going to want to focus on price, because that seems to be the one thing that's moving properties right now. For home buyers that think that 2009 is coming and that they should just wait, I will tell you that is a big risk. I think that if you're ready to buy a house, you've got a loan pre-approval, and you can afford a house in your price point, you should do it. We all know that timing the market is absolutely impossible. In fact, there's a very good chance that if rates continue to look like they're going to come down with some of the political pressure with our Fed and inflation finally coming down, that the market could heat back up. And even if home prices go down by 1 or 2% this year, we could erase all of that in 2026, and prices could resume to going back into an appreciating market. So just make sure that you buy when it's the right time for you. Now, before I end this video, I just want to remind you I'm a nationwide mortgage lender. And if you ever need any help, if you're looking to get pre-approved, if you're wanting to research loan strategy, I would love to be a resource for you. I also work with some of the best real estate agents across the country. So if you're moving to another area and you want to get connected to the Michael Jordan of that market who has access to off-market listings, and make sure you're just not going to Google and finding someone at random, I would also love to help you there. You can either email me, call me, my contact information's on my page, or you can feel free to drop a comment below. I do get back to those as much as possible. Hope you guys have a great July, and we'll see you next month.